We are back at it again with the new Leetcode problem 448. Find all numbers disappeared in an array. Let's go ahead and read the problem statement here quickly. Given an array nums of n integers where nums I is in the range from 1 to n, return an array of all the integers in the range from 1 to n that do not appear in nums. Alrighty, so let's grab example number 1 and try to dissect this thing. All right, so what is it really asking here? It's asking, find the missing numbers from 1 to n. Well, what's n? N is the length of the array, right, of nums. Given an array nums of n integers, so the number of integers in nums is 8, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So n is 8 in our case here. So it's saying from the range 1 to 8, let's just kind of drive this home. I know this is a bit redundant, but so these are numbers in range. So it's saying it does nums, is nums missing any numbers in the range from 1 to 8 or 1 to n? Well, let's see. We have 1. Is 1 here? Yep. 2 is 2 in nums? Yep. 3 is 3 in nums? Yep. Is 4 in nums? Yep. Is 5 in nums? Ooh, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because it's not in here. So what do? Well, if we look at the example, we push it to an output of the missing numbers, or the numbers that do not appear in nums. And this is nums. All right, so we found the first one, which is 5. 5er. So we push 5 and we keep going, right? We say 6. Is 6 in nums? I don't see it, so let's push 6. And same for 7. 7 is there, 8 is there, and we are at the end of the array. And here's our answer, and we just return that, right? So we kind of just did this in our heads or in this sandbox real quick, but let's do it in code, right? So one of the things that comes to mind here is, if you notice of what we did, we're basically doing some sort of lookup, and the lookup is happening here. As we're iterating through the range, we're saying, hey, is 1 in nums? Yep. Is 2 in nums? Yep. Is 3 in nums? Yep. So as you can see, it's some sort of lookup, and as we've known before, when we're using lookup or something to do with lookup, we can always default to maps. Why maps? Why hash maps? Because hash maps are constant time lookup, and that will speed your algorithm quite a bit. So let's do that, right? Let's think about this for a second. Well, what's going to be our map? What is going to be our dictionary? Is it the range, or is it nums? Well, let's think about this for a second. What are we going to iterate over? Well, we know the numbers that should be there. And all the numbers that should be there should be the ones in the range, 1 through 8. So what should be our hash map? Like, what should we compare to see if this exists? Well, nums, right? We should put all the numbers in nums in a map, and that's what we should check as we go over the range. So we could say something like 1 is 1 in our map, and then let's assume this is the map here for a second. Nope, or yes, and then 2, and so on. So yeah, so let's do that. So I guess we can agree to disagree that nums is our map. And let's do that now. We'll do const map equals new map. And then we're going to do, and I know there's probably a better way to do this, but just bear with me. Let I equals 0, where nums dot length is less than, where I is nums dot length I plus plus, and we're going to do map dot set nums I. And what basically this is doing, this is pushing all these numbers into a map. And don't worry about duplicates, because with map it just converts the duplicates to 1, so it basically handles that for us. So then now we have our map. And what's next, right? We want to for loop through the range of numbers. So we do for let I equals 1, while I is less than nums.length. Well, actually not less than, equals to, because we want to go all the way up to 8. I plus plus. Cool. So if we do if map.has nums I, so what this is saying is like when we have this, so we're saying if if it doesn't have the number, right? If it doesn't have 4, then we push it. And that's why we have this symbol here, this not symbol, because we're saying if it doesn't have it, then let's push it to an array, and that's the array that we're going to return. But let's declare that up here. We're going to do const ands array. So if we don't have it, if number in range is not in our map of nums, push to ands array. Cool. So then we do ands.push nums I. So we're handling missing numbers here. And then we return ands. All right, let's see if we are correct. Fingers crossed. Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Why? If map doesn't have nums I. Oh, well, that's a silly mistake. It's actually not nums I. We're actually pushing the index because it's the range. Let's submit again. There you go. And we've done it. Sorry about the hiccup.